So Matt Vito, where are we going to play?
Are we going to go back to Cafe Dostoevsky? Are we going to see Villa again? That's going to be the question. But Villa is banned, and Cafe is banned right after. So it's going to be either Coastline or Border, and it goes to Border.
Sweet. So we get a new map for the last match of the day, and that's quite interesting. Let's look at the community vote now and find out what you guys think about this match. Oh, wow. Okay, another decisive one.
It's a lot bigger of a gap than I thought, given the fact that 92 Dream Team seems to have quite a large vocal fan base.
They do.
Vocal fan base tends to come out during community votes, but I mean, it's hard when you're going up against DarkZero, who gave Empire a run for their money on their first map in the quarterfinals of Milan.
I think we can agree that DarkZero is the most experienced team here.
Between these two, absolutely. I don't think that's really up for debate, especially when 92 Dream Team have only played probably 3 matches at a top level. When you look at their matchup against the Sonics in relegations, their matchup against Rogue last night in USN, and then their matchup just a couple days ago as well against TSM. So, both DarkZero and 92 Dream Team are undefeated. They both have a victory apiece after their Playday number 1 matches. There's a possibility that they can both walk out of this undefeated as well if they draw. We saw draws in match 1 and match 2, so it's not unheard of. But if one of these teams picks up a victory, they will vault over reciprocity into sole possession of first place, and the loser will sit in third. The very first ban will be on 92 Dream Team, who will be starting on defense, and they'll remove Capitao. DarkZero removing Buck. These are 2 operators that are no strangers to bans on Border, especially Buck.
Yeah, Buck is such a potent force here in terms of vertical destruction, and he just, there's so... how do I put this? He's always useful on any map that has any kind of relevant vertical play. However, on a map like Border, he is so refined that most teams are capable of playing a Buck proficiently. So getting rid of Buck can often be kind of debilitating for teams that rely on that more. So if your team doesn't need a Buck on Border, then yeah, you may as well just ban him. Capitao being banned is a kind of a given at this point with the way he is in the meta. He's just really, really, really powerful. And he plays a similar role as Buck on this particular map, whereby, for example, if you want to deny, let's say you want to deny sandwich or half wall, Capitao, or grenades from below, or skeleton key from below, very useful at that. You want to deny archives, Capitao, or nades from below. You get the point I'm going for here. They're kind of interchangeable, and getting rid of both a Buck and a Capitao is going to eliminate one of the... Well, not fully eliminate that entire role, but it'll seriously make it much more difficult. And it looks like we will be waiting to see what happens. It's going to be a rehost or so, we're being told right now. So, cool, we got the bans. That's something to talk about.
Rexon's computer was hit by a stray meteorite, so hopefully he's okay. And
he'll get superpowers from it.
He will. Becomes a member of the Avengers, and he'll be back whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
Yes. So... Capitao ban, or Capitao Echo ban from 92 Dream Team, Buck Mira ban from DarkZero. Okay, so the Capitao again, the Buck, both of those kind of understandable. The Mira ban is very standard on Border. I think this is one of her better maps nowadays.
Yes.
So Mira's best maps have been shifting around as the meta continues to move. And I do think that Border is one of those maps where she is just a given useful, but also when you lose those mirror windows, it is not debilitating to your team. For example, you can place a mirror window on the armory wall facing towards CCTV, and if that's broken, then oh no, it's broken, and you just fall back a little bit. So Mira, good. Border. Echo, just a general ban there. Same thing as it would be if it were Maestro. Surprised it is Echo over Maestro, though.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the way that they play out, right? 92 Dream Team banned Echo because I think Echo is better utilized here than Maestro. I mean, the Evil Eyes might not be as effective as the Yokais. I think the Yokais are stronger, and then in addition to that, I think that the Alda is better at much longer ranges, and there's not always going to be a ton of long-range fights here on Border, the same way that it would be on like a map like Cafe or Coastline or even Oregon when it was still in the map pool. It's kind of funny to see DZ, just as a side note, I understand why they did it, but it's kind of funny to see DZ ban Buck with BC on the team.
Okay, yeah.
The man is synonymous with the operator.
It's true, but at the same time, I mean, I get it. Like,
was it DZ that banned Buck against TSM? I believe it was last season.
Last season.
When it was against Achieved, if I remember correctly, they banned Buck against him.
It would make sense. Achieve.
I think it was on border, too, if I remember correctly, which forced Achieve to play into the sledge role, which, if you want soft destruction here, with a Buck off the board, you're limited to running an Ashe, which will likely happen given the way that 92 Dream Team plays. A Sledge, which might happen as well, or possibly a Zofia with breach charges. That's it. And you won't have the same verticality as you mentioned, because Buck has both the Skeleton Key and the frag grenades in very commonly placed spots.
Yeah, it's the ability for pretty much anyone to pick up a Buck on this map, I think, and then make it work, because the knowledge that every team has in Pro League of where, I mean, even outside of Pro League, man, going down to like tier 3 teams, everybody knows how to Buck on border. You know, like it's not a crazy concept.
Casual players know how to Buck on border.
True. You see it enough times in Pro League and it gets there, man. Because I mean, how many of you people watching this broadcast right now, like that play Siege for maybe a few hundred hours, actually don't know how to deal with half wall on border from below? Like that's such common practice now, and it's what's made half wall like really decently. It's difficult to play, I guess, is the way I would put it, for pretty much anyone, anywhere. And yeah, Buck is the best operator for dealing with that position. So you're right. It's going to be probably Ashe, Zofia, somebody with some soft destruction who can play it from below when attacking onto Armory. Nothing surprising.
Now, if you remember, DZ and 92 Dream Team have played each other before. This happened during the Paris Major qualifiers when I actually casted the match alongside about 7 or 8 other people, most of whom were pros within the community. And 92 Dream Team was a very different team. The rosters were quite different, and they played an extremely aggressive, reckless style, and it became a bit of a meme match, so to speak.
And they became a meme team because of it.
But now, 92 Dream Team have proven themselves to be among the best teams in North America, at least over the last month or so. They still don't have representation as an org, so a lot of these guys are still working other jobs while still competing, and some of them might have to be up for work in the morning, some of them might have to cancel scrims because they have to work as well, and it's amazing to see. It's a struggle, but it's amazing to see how far they've come. To go up against DarkZero in a serious matchup in which it's not a guarantee that DarkZero is going to win, this is a possibility to kind of clear the air around the 92 Dream Team squad. Because as funny as that match was, this one right here is going to be no laughing matter for either of these teams.
I think from what we've seen so far through this season, we can safely say that there are teams out there that have much more direct support and backing than 92 Dream Team, and a lot less to show for it so far. But there is still plenty of time for 92 Dream Team to prove us wrong on that point. There is still plenty of time for 92 Dream Team to start tripping up and start being that new, fresh entrant into Pro League that everyone expects them to be. That team that just, you know, they get a few wins here and there, but oh, here they look shaky, and oh, here they're getting stressed out, and you can tell when they lose control of this match. When's that going to start happening to 92 Dream Team is, I think, a question that a lot of people are asking. When are they going to prove themselves to be consistent performers already? Is that really going to happen so quickly? It would be impressive if that were the case. I mean, it's what happened with Empire in Europe. More so, I mean, well, what happened with Empire was even more significant in that they didn't just come out the gate swinging and doing decently well as a new Pro League team. They came out the gate dominant, but that's a whole other story. Now, DarkZero starting off in this round here. Going to begin with a clear of what appears to be the bottom floor. It looks like they want to deal with the C4 from below. This has been a decided focus from most teams in North America so far today, and it's good to see. It's not an easy thing to clear out roamers underneath, but you've got to do it. The C4 is too potent.
The question as to what BC was going to play in with Buck being off the board, it's going to be more support-oriented. And I know that when BC was originally picked up to replace Pojo Man, they had him on harder support roles, and they put Houghton on that role instead. It's been a bit of a pretty good fit so far for Houghton Cold, who's shown good decision-making skills and isn't just the Ashe Jaeger main that he was way back in the day. That flexibility is important. Because of the pickup of Hyper, you can now move BC back to a less important role on the front lines.
Ashe Jaeger mains can often make for really good fragmites. I will say that. And Houghton, I think, is one of those. So, doing a good job there on an individual level. DarkZero have taken control of CCTV and Office, which means they have free reign. They can go anywhere they want to in terms of attack. They can hit into Archives or into Armory. It seems that they want to go for the latter, though, as they are setting up on the Armory wall right now, waiting for BC to come over here with his EMPs and help in opening this wall up. Hot and Cold opening the doorway. Just trying to get line of sight before going for that exothermic. The problem is DZ have not cleared out the C4 from below, though Pixel's C4 from not below will not get a kill. Nyx loses a lot of HP, but I don't even think that was to the C4. I think he just took a couple shots there as he was crossing.
He engaged with one of the defenders upstairs in Armory, and right now DarkZero are going to need to connect the dots on a bottom floor clear, because you've wasted about 2 minutes and 10 seconds of time as defenders, which is what you want to do. And DarkZero haven't really gotten a good finger on the pulse of the play of Dream Team down below.
I really like the patience here from Dream Team. I gotta hand it to them. They still have C4 from below and in the hands of Doodle, and I mean, all they need to do is wait with 30 seconds.
Pixel's actually used his C4, so it'll be all on Doodle. Rexon finds Hot and Cold, and Nyx was very low on HP still too. So this is a perfect opportunity for Dream Team to be able to prevail here. Nyx will open up one of the walls and try to put some pressure onto B. Rexon is now down below, and it'll be Hyena to watch as the Maestro looks longingly towards that newly opened up wall. 10 seconds left, and Hyena will have to be the superstar. He's got a couple different bodies on cam. They'll take out Hyper. We need to see if Pixel can come on in on the flank. Mint guns down Rexon. BC getting harassed over and over and over again, but 92 Dream Team will simply win a war of attrition as there's multiple people alive on both teams. But DZ, as the attackers, they've got to get the plant off, and they fail to do so. It's the first one on the board for 92 Dream Team.
Very solid defense there from 92. Looking good doing it. Now, it mostly comes down to patience there. I mean, DarkZero didn't clear out the roamers downstairs, which cost them in the long run. And then also, much more importantly, they had no real teeth to bite with when it comes to dealing with those anchors. I mean, no picks before they started their push. That's tricky. That's real tricky. Well, it ended up being just a complete lockout there for 92 Dream Team, and a seemingly easy one, the way that they made that look. Mostly just, again, coming down to patience. Just waiting out DarkZero. If they'll let you do that, then yeah, go for it. Now, Dream Team going to be going to ventilation next, and this is commonplace. Typical rotation for Armory into ventilation, into probably customs or tellers. Well, I mean, certainly customs or tellers. Probably customs. Depends on the team.
So while the setup is going on here, my mentions on the old Twitter exploded during the break.
Why, what happened?
I didn't know the dog's name. I'm being told repeatedly.
Oh, the dog's name. Yeah.
The dog is... I knew it was Young's dog, but I didn't know what the dog's name was, and apparently it is Zorro.
Oh, Zorro.
That's right. When we were on break and you're like, I don't know who... And I was like, I know who Zorro is. And I was like, oh, it's the dog. And you're like, I don't know who Zorro is.
No.
You should watch more movies.
No, I know who Zorro is, the character, but I don't know who Zorro is within our community. Within our community, you know what I mean? Like,
it's Young's doggo. Its name is Zorro.
Okay.
As the countdown was ending, my phone was blowing up with people being like, how do you not know the dog's name? I don't know. I don't chronicle dogs.
Me neither. Yeah.
I like dogs. They're better than cats.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of indifferent on that whole one.
Nope, dogs are better.
All right, then.
All right, the debate is settled. Great. Let's move on to this round, Michael.
Yes. Nyx has taken control of CCTV along with his teammates thanks to the excellent drone work of DarkZero. It's only taken them about a minute, which is decent efficiency here, and they also have, I believe, control of the office balcony. So they're a little bit spread thin. However, there's not a lot of contesting going on here by Dream Team, so being spread thin is not a bad thing on the side of DarkZero because Dream Team's just waiting. It definitely seems like the way that Dream Team decided to play this match was very specifically catered for DarkZero, because I am seeing the planning going on here for Dream Team, in that they were talking about this before the match started, like, yeah guys, if we just wait out DZ on defense, then they're not going to be able to get anything done. And that certainly worked for Dream Team the first round. The question is, will DarkZero be able to adjust moving forward? Because yeah, they are going to need to speed up their attacks.
The research that's done by these teams in the time before matches is Pixel start things off, takes out Hyper. It looked like he was working alongside Rex in there, so Two people will throw their bodies at the problem. DarkZero has both Bacon as well as eCentral working for them as coaches / analysts. Forgive my ignorance, but 92 Dream Team, if they have a coach, it's not one that I'm familiar with, at least not one that immediately jumps out. So kudos to the team for being able to research the way to play against DZ and get prepared. And for the time being, DarkZero seems quite flummoxed by exactly what this 92 Dream Team is doing. Because Nyx has lost a lot of HP, Hyper was unable to successfully enter upstairs, and now the rest of DarkZero will try to transition over. But Pixel will find kill number 2 onto Nyx, and then wait and play along the windows. He's got a hatch above him as well, as Hot and Cold will creep on up. Possibly give a third kill to Pixel if he's as accurate as he has been so far. But Hotton is no slouch himself. Doodle falls as Mint drops, and Pixel's in a lot of trouble. Great coordination there from both Mint and Hot and Cold to be able to take out Pixel. And now we find ourselves back at a 3v3, and the HP favors DarkZero. 15 seconds left. They'll have to hurry to try to get in towards the site. Remember, the attackers cannot run out of time, as it happened in round number 1. But Hyena sees the barrel of Hot and Cold as he walks on through. Easily gunned down. Moves onto the other side. He'll take out PC in the same time. Hyena trying to do his best, but Mint will have to go to the plant. And he's extremely vulnerable, and Tomas, without an H. That in mind, he'll finish Mint off. And it'll be 92 Dream Team with their second round in a row, despite the frustrations of that SMG-11 in the hands of Smoke.
Without an ace or any bullets, as it turns out. Now, without an H or any bullets, pardon me. Now, okay, so we've got 92 taking 2 in a row off time. Yes, frags are ultimately the ones to get it, but that's just because DarkZero are trying really hard to win these rounds and not, just waiting out the clock. But they are having I think their clears early on are a little bit slower than they need to be, and much more importantly, Dream Team just aren't giving any opportunity for picks, which DarkZero are anticipating. You can see clearly in the way that DarkZero are playing that they are anticipating 92 Dream Team giving picks away, playing into angles and into DarkZero's hands. And 92 is just not doing that. They're just not doing that. Another thing, and this is huge, of course, every time it happens, DarkZero failing to drone out basic locations. So Pixel managed to get a kill by Tellers, right? Following that up, another kill by Tellers. Why is that? Drone it. Okay, you can assume that he's going to fall back because 92 have been playing passive, but at the same time, you just got to be sure, man. And yes, time is an issue, but that's not the thing that you sacrifice. Droning out where you know an enemy was, that's not the thing that you give up. So, I don't know. Just some trip-ups here and there for DarkZero. 92 Dream Team, on the other hand, finding the perfect balance between patience, waiting, and, well, being in a really...
What are you trying to say?
Really odd spots. They're finding really odd spots. That's what I would... There you go. I just couldn't find the appropriate word.
I mean, there was a plea from this team of 92 Dream Team and the players saying that they firmly believe that they are good enough to go toe-to-toe with every single team inside of North America, and
they've proven that.
Good representation would help an awful lot in that case too, right?
Yeah, I mean, good representation is something I think at this point, if they manage to draw or beat DarkZero, then you could say without a shadow of a doubt that 92 Dream Team deserve some good representation that they don't have right now.
You can't really help underscore a good supportive org in terms of funding, in terms of resources, in terms of infrastructure, and how far that can push a team, right?
It's so important.
It's integral, especially when you're going up against teams that have that.
And the fact that 92 has managed to do so much without it, oof, just impressive. Okay, so unreinforced wall on the site. It's Tellers, because 92 have won their 2 basic sites. They have to go to an off-site, and they choose Tellers. Interesting that this is their decision. It's definitely a difficult one to hold, and there's less delay work to be done here. Raxion's going to take down Hotton, though, so the Thermite gone. That's a good pick. Not sure if he's open triple or not. And as Doodle takes down Nyx, it's looking really bad right now for DarkZero. Triple wall is open, though, so this is definitely salvageable.
It's once again a rough entry here for DarkZero, and 92 Dream Team plays a very aggressive, really frustrating style that has really confounded a lot of good teams. Canadian used to refer to that when Yaga and Hyper used to play together as the brick brain duo, because they would essentially pull their brains out of their skulls and just do dumb stuff, quote-unquote TM, and then win matches. And 92 Dream Team have managed to channel a lot of that aggressiveness and a lot of the unpredictability And they've succeeded because they've tightened up a lot of the issues that are caused by that. And right now, they find themselves at a 4v2 advantage, attacking a site that is extremely challenging for most defenders to defend, putting Hyper in a position where he's going to have to ace clutch. He's got 2 kills so far. He'll punish Pixel from above. He's got 40 seconds, and he needs to find every remaining member of the Dream Team. He doesn't have any shock drones available. He doesn't have any regular drones, of course, since it's a Twitch. And he might be completely blind for info. But he drops, and the F2 is a great gun to be able to accomplish this. Down goes Rexon. 20 seconds left. The diffuser a mile away. But Hyper's position found out by the 1 cam that was left up, and Hyena, in an unorthodox spot, nestled deep inside of Workshop, will stop the reign of terror that Hyper was beginning to unleash on the rest of his teammates. And it'll be 3 rounds in a row now for the Dream Team here on Border.
A lot of people underestimate Dream Team. A lot of people. I don't know that that is the case here with DarkZero. It doesn't seem to be. But I will say that Dream Team are walking away with these rounds confidently. And most of it comes down to their positioning and DarkZero's lack of awareness to said positioning. It's like DarkZero is assuming 92 Dream Team is going to do one thing and 92 is doing the exact opposite. It's the unpredictability that you just referenced being so potent on the side of 92. And I have to wonder if DarkZero is going to be able to make the mid-match adaptation that is required in order to adjust for the way that 92 is playing, in contrast to what they expected 92 to be doing. I mean, it's just so... It's definitely, yeah, that aggression that you were talking about, the way that 92 is expected to play, just, you know, peeking stuff, taking fights, it's not necessarily what we're seeing right now. A lot of the way that 92 is playing is, yes, okay, there is aggression in their positioning. However, in their angle play and they're taking fights, they're playing very passively.
We are getting word now that the coach for 92 Dream Team is actually, for a brief period of time, he was the secondary coach for the team that was C9, if I remember. Virus.
Oh, it was Virus.
Virus.
I know Virus.
I feel like an idiot for not knowing that.
Well, I mean,
and I am in a position to be roasted,
right?
Because of that, and I accept the roasting.
We've got this one again.
Oh,
I kind of like it. It's like
I believe it's an Instagram filter.
Yeah. It's also there's movies that they do it like this.
We are now, and if we just turn off the sound, we are essentially a silent film.
Can we?
No, let's not do that. We need sound. It's integral.
Oh.
We have color, and now it's gone.
Ah, it's gone.
But that's okay.
From my understanding, this one...
It's grayscale.
This one just kind of wears off at some point.
Monochromatic. At some point, we'll figure it out. But we'll ride along for the time being. It was a successful rotation on the first 3 sites. And now we go back up to Armory above. With 92 Dream Team firmly in the driver's seat, the key for DarkZero here is going to be, don't lose somebody early. It's been your foil so far. You've been a bit too aggressive.
Oh, there it goes.
And we have color back. We have gone from the 1910s into the I don't know, when did color TV come about?
I have no idea.
1930, 1940?
I was born in 97, dude. So I have no idea.
They had color TV then.
They did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're back.
CCTV control is the focus here for DarkZero. Right now, they're just doing their best to take control and establish some kind of foothold on the periphery. This is a lot of zaps used up for one. Oh, no. It's unfortunate. It's not an easy hitbox to hit, to be fair, to Hyper. Very distant there as it was placed on top of the boost spot. But that is really unfortunate. 1 whole minute left here for DarkZero to make the execution happen. They're going in through the armory wall, and it is open. Lots of information on the side of the Dream Team, thanks to these Valkyrie cams. And here's a kill for Rexon, thanks to that very Valkyrie cam. This one should go away soon, right? Because this one, I can't see anything.
And...
oh, it's gone.
We will go from above. It's going to be Run Out City right now as Doodle throws a C4 all the way up, and it'll find a target in hot and cold and say goodbye to the Thermite. 30 seconds left for DZ to be able to pull this one off in a 3v5 that definitely favors 92 Dream Team, looking for their 4th consecutive round. It's going to be Doodle taking out Nyx, shredding him, and BC rushing on in. He'll find 1 kill, but will there be more to follow? Hyena's position given away, and that'll allow Hyper to just waltz on in. He's got full control now, but BC holds the diffuser. He's going to be very vulnerable as Doodle sprints on in. Hyper will need to get that diffuser back up. Mark's going out. MPX doesn't do an awful lot of damage, but Doodle just needs to head for the hills. 4 seconds left. Will Hyper be able to grab the diffuser in time and be vulnerable? He'll run into the Valkyrie, but Doodle will shut him down, and it'll be 4 rounds for 92 Dream Team, who are, at the moment, completely unstoppable. They seem to have DarkZero's number every step of the way. In terms of DarkZero's number, it's in their name. 0, the number of rounds they have right now, 4-0 Dream Team. I'm very proud of that one.
So, all right. One thing that you may have noticed, if you were the more astute of you, is that Dream Team are ramping up their aggression. So, in the past rounds, Dream Team were playing very passively, just holding, not peeking angles. This last round, they just flipped a switch. And they're like, oh, we're going to start going for runouts. We're going to start going for C4s. We're going to take every opportunity we can to get an aggressive kill. And it worked. DarkZero are trying to shift gears, and it just seems like 92 Dream Team can't do anything wrong because they're one step ahead. That run out takes the Valkyrie cam. The first Valkyrie cam that went on that pole was shot. They doubled up. 92 just waited. Doodle, I believe, threw 2. At least, if I'm not mistaken. It's hard to tell because that's actually when we had the static bug, so I don't know if that was just a straight up bug or the camera actually got shot.
I'm not sure where that one...
I think the camera actually did get shot. I'm just not sure.
It's funny because we went backwards in time. Like, we went grayscale back to the olden days, and then we went forward into the future with color TV, and then we went to a radio broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah,
we
TV
time traveled, essentially.
Yeah. I'm feeling very, I don't know, very experienced suddenly. I'm liking this knowledge. It's some things. Not in others.
Defense number 5 for the Dream Team, and they are perfect so far. They'll go back down to the workshop, so their cycle looks very similar. They defended Armory twice. They won it both times. They defended Workshop once before. They won it. This is going to be opportunity number 2. And then likely the bathroom tellers downstairs will be where they go next.
Dude, Mozzie is actually so... Oh, okay. Well, he's dead now. Good job to Hyper, landing the headshot there. He was just about to lose that fight, as you can tell by his HP, but he managed to get the headshot. So, Mozzie is actually such a good operator when it comes to certain sites like... Well, certain maps, I suppose, certain situations. And that, okay, for example, here... He denies one whole avenue of droning into CCTV and forced DarkZero to spend an extra 20 seconds to come around on the west balcony in order to drone CCTV. That's crazy. That's so good. They could have done it other ways, but that's what they decided to do. Rexon playing aggressive on the wall. So again, yes, there is a clear gear shift here from Dream Team, and it's going to result in 1 kill, nearly 2. Nyx does manage to get the refrag. But a beautiful job there from Rexon, making it worthwhile. Still in a man advantage for DarkZero Esports, but again, the aggression from 92 Dream Team in strong contrast to the first half. Well, I guess the first quarter of this match.
DarkZero just seems to have their number in a lot of these gunfights as they go for runouts and just take opportunities that a lot of teams don't do. And in one-off matches like best of ones, you can get away with that kind of thing. You can get away with taking chances and I guess just confusing your opponent. The big issue right now that will, be a massive focus for Dream Team is that they're losing the floor above them, or their ceiling, more accurately, as there's tons of soft destruction. You've still got 2 breaching rounds from Nyx that can be utilized somewhere. Open up a wall, open up a floor, and then go for broke on what is exposed, essentially. DarkZero looks to be transitioning over to the bathroom and will likely move on into Workshop from that particular area. Doesn't really look like it's going to be much of a focus on ventilation, and because of this, you see the change from Dream Team to greet the members of DarkZero as they go to come through.
Good marks here inside of Tellers. You can see that this is a nice rotation by Passport. It hasn't been read by DarkZero, but Nyx does spot it, and that's going to force Doodle to fall back. Good angle here from Hyena, but it's not an easy fight to win, that's for sure. He has to stay pre-established on the angle, sees his opponent, lands the shots, and gets the kill. BC, though, meanwhile, has shut down Thomas and also Odd inside of the hallway, and it's going to be DarkZero's very first round in Border.
What's amazing to me is all those rounds that DarkZero won, they weren't really relying on the objective at all. They were just going for kills. And, yeah. One of them, they ran out of time. They didn't even need to wait it out or anything like that.
Well,
They didn't allow DarkZero to play the objective.
Yeah.
They just went for pure frag fests on defense, right?
I mean, Dream Team, in the first 3 rounds, they were playing exceptionally passive. Like, I was amazed. I was like, what is this Dream Team? They're so restrained.
You would call that passive.
The first 3 rounds? Yeah.
Well, restrained in comparison to what?
In comparison to themselves, their norm.
That is true.
I'm saying the first 3 rounds, Dream Team played exceptionally passive. After the first 3 rounds, they shifted gears. They started getting more aggressive. The big turning point was their last Armory defense, where they started going for runouts, aggressive peaks, just every fight they could get. You know, maybe it was the Teller's site. Maybe that's when you could consider it as the aggression shifted. But I don't think so. I think that was just to do with the site and the way they were playing it. Now, Ventilation will be the last site here for Dream Team on defense. We'll see how they decide to take this one. But yeah, no, there's clearly been a mentality shift for Dream Team and how they decide to want to play in the middle of the half.
New feed activated.
This is a team that went from the message or the thought process of peak everything to peak when we know we can win. And it's working.
Yeah, I think it comes down to, you know, dynamic decisions based on the situation you're confronted with in the now. Like you just got to be on your toes. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you got to be on your toes. It's really that simple. And Dream Team are kind of making that happen right now.
A lot of this is simply because of operators such as Valkyrie. And Doodle is the backbone of this team on so many different ways. You know, he took an awful lot of heat at the USN Finals in Vegas for going 0-7, which was the joke that Vele made, you know, playing with his friend Owen, 0-7. But Doodle has bounced back in a marvelous way since then and has shown that, number one, he's more than talented enough to play with the big dogs in Pro League, and can do so while dropping an insane amount of kills at the same time. And he's not even just somebody who needs to get kills. He usually plays support, you know, oriented operators, and on Valkyrie, he allows that aggressiveness on the rest of his team, that restrained aggressiveness, if we want to call it that, with the peak everything mentality. Instead of it being peak everything, it's simply, hey, peak when we know we can win. And like I said, it's been working out exceptionally well. DarkZero don't seem to understand, and they don't have anybody watching flanks. And I'm kind of surprised that DarkZero hasn't brought more Claymores or hasn't even brought a Nomad or even a Lion to possibly slow down the aggressiveness of Dream Team, even though they're mostly just staying inside of the site.
Yeah, the operator selection is definitely something that I would question myself. But it is what it is. Something for DarkZero to look at in the future, I think. They're sticking to their guns for now, and this is the last attacking round, so it's not like they can change things anymore. But I agree with you, especially on the Nomad. Now, Dream Team have fallen back primarily to the site. There's a minute left here for DarkZero, but they have the vertical. It's really important that they retain control of that. Going to start isolating those staircases. And still without a kill. Unfortunate. Just now getting East stairs control. That's a little late in the game. I mean, they denied it earlier on, but now they're actually pushing it.
Yeah, this is a sluggish take from DarkZero, at least right now.
You can see 92 are pacing themselves well. They're just waiting.
Yeah, they're not taking any chances at the moment. You know, it sounds like Doodle might have, but DarkZero still have lots of drones on the board, and they're still collecting information that they can use later on.
Look at this.
And Rexon inside of the washroom, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. There's also a Legion in there stacked up next to him. They've lost most of their cover above. 30 seconds, and that's exactly where Hyper will be. He shreds Hyena. Pixel's going to have to evade one of those grenades. He gets taken out by Mint, so it'll be Rexon swinging out wide. Oh, he takes down Hutton, and that's Diffuser dropped. It'll have to be retrieved, and now the rest of 92 Dream Team will coalesce around the drop Diffuser. This is where things can go from bad to worse for DarkZero if they're not quick enough. Mint will pick up the Diffuser, but Rexon is there. He loses a lot of HP. Tomas is down, so it'll be a 2v2.
Oh,
Doodle drops
wow.
BC, and Hyper, who was upstairs, is nowhere nearby to be able to grab it.
No.
And it's all time for 92 Dream Team on an impressive stand inside of Tellers, all because Hot and Cold happened to be a step behind his team and losing the fight to Rexon. Unfortunate timing for DarkZero, but what a half for 92 Dream Team.
That was just a wow of a round right there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to make of that, to be honest with you guys. That's okay. The push from Rexon, getting the down diffuser, definitely a huge play there. and it should have been recovered from DarkZero. Mint didn't pre-fire Soda. Why? Why would you not pre-fire Soda? He couldn't be anywhere else. You already cleared the rest of Tellers. There's nowhere that he could go. He's either going to be in the hallway, which makes him a non-factor, or he's going to be Soda. So, curious. Either that or he just got straight, he pre-fired and got straight up out DPS by the Carbine on Jaeger, which is a possibility considering the L85 was used instead of the SMG-11. No matter how you look at that, the fact that Mint lost the second fight to Rexen is what cost DarkZero that round. If he had been able to kill Rexen, then take that diffuser, go back to the site and start planting, then things would have been much different. Dream Team lost control of that round. They did. They shouldn't have been able to recover it. Well played to Rexen to make that happen, though. Gotta hand it to him.
That's the equivalent of when you're playing this game and the person that has the diffuser is on the other side of the earth.
Yeah.
Your whole team has complete control of site, and the one person who isn't with you has a diffuser, and he's too busy playing, you know, like solitaire.
It was unfortunate.
I mean, it's just bad timing for Houghton. He lost the 2 players that were in front of him, and then the rest of DarkZero kind of fanned out. I don't think they expected there to be 2 bodies inside a bathroom because...
I mean, why would you?
There almost never is.
Yeah.
So you can't really throw a lot of blame on DarkZero for that because, yeah, they droned, sure. And they knew that they got 1, but, I mean, you drone out a Jaeger and then you don't kill a Jaeger. I don't know.
It was weird.
It can kind of go both ways.
So it's done now, and Dream Team looking real good against one of the top teams in North America, DarkZero. This shouldn't be a simple attacker-defender-sided conversation, by the way. This isn't like either Cafe or Villa. I mean, Villa is even technically kind of a...
Or Coastline.
Or Coastline, yeah.
Or Coastline or Clubhouse. Border's not a 5-1 map.
No, it's not. It's definitely one of the more balanced maps out there in terms of attacker-defender. So this really isn't that kind of conversation like we've been having all day.
Yep.
This is just 92 playing well. So the question is, what are their attacks going to be like? Are they going to be able to hold up that mantle that they've, you know, or that bar rather that they've set so high? It's looking slow so far.
90 seconds. I mean, it hasn't really needed to come to loggerheads for either of these teams just yet. You know that 92 Dream Team still have a couple of their players on drones for the time being, but...
I mean, they got triple open. They know one's playing Fountain, and there's a grenade kill from Doodle.
Ironic to see BC die to a grenade.
A little
he's
bit.
Playing out on ventilation, and you need to be able to get the bandit wires off of the wall, inside of offices, and then push on up. But the problem is that Hyena is going to be extremely vulnerable. Hyena can carry as a Thermite if he needs to, but he's going to require the rest of the team around him. And you're going to need better efforts, but oh, Hyper gets caught out as he tries to vault. A beautiful play from Doodle. And he's going to look for a second now. He's got 2 on the round already, but a second in a row as he surveys the small office. Pixel and Mint will find each other, and Pixel will get the better of him. Down goes the Diffuser, and the Soul Heartbreacher is hot and cold, guns down the Thermite of Hyena. And 30 seconds left, and you've got Doodle inside a sight, but he doesn't hold that Diffuser. They pick it up, and they'll have to rotate at some point. And Houghton will expose himself just a little bit too much. It'll be a joint effort with Tomas there, and as Nyx comes around the corner, he's shut down. 92 Dream Team making a statement. Oh my. It's a 6-1 scoreline here with DarkZero. One possible round away from a very defeating loss.
92 Dream Team aren't just winning these rounds. They are winning these rounds and then winning what could have been. And what I mean by that is they are being exceptionally thorough. Rexen, for example, great highlight here. Just now, full control 92 Dream Team. I think he would agree with that through most of the round. After the initial take started going into office, it was pretty much just 92-92. But despite having that really dominant control, despite having the take going in 92 Dream Team's favor entirely, instead of simply pushing all in through archives, they took their decided man advantage and decided to put one person on a flank coming in through armory, and that was Rexen. And that again, it's very thorough. A lot of teams will just try to muscle up, hunker down on, hey, it's an archives take. Let's do our archives take. But Rexon said, nah, I can come from behind, secure this for sure. And he did. He got the final kill. He didn't even need to, though. Like, I think we can all agree that it would have been a Dream Team round no matter what. But it's just impressive how well thought out their takes are. And I think a lot of it comes down to on-the-fly decision-making. You know, dynamic play. It is the king of Rainbow Six Esports. Being able to adapt on your toes, that is how you play this game these days. And Dream Team are really highlighting that right now, I feel. And it's impressive, for sure. They're on match point against DarkZero. DarkZero, guys. If you don't know, if you're just watching, DarkZero is a titan in North American Rainbow Six Siege. So this is an impressive feat for Dream Team, who is a brand new NA Pro League team. This is their second ever Pro League match, right here.
They're going to start it off with a bang, 30 seconds in, and down goes Hyper. Not just an important player, but also a Legion whose gadget gets stronger with time. And those will be avenues that cannot be shut down now with the Legion off the board.
Yeah, probably only got 2 or 3 max.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems definitely 3. I don't think 4.
Yeah.
So what comes next? That's the real question. I mean, you move off of Armory. If you're DarkZero, you've gone downstairs. I think that's the smart call. You've only got 1 round. You got to try something else, try something new. A beautiful kill from Tomas. He catches Nyx looking. And now Mint is next in line to possibly step on up. But Hot and Cold is quite a long line of sight. He's playing the 2nd floor, trying to watch both beepers as well as offices. A tight angle by the doorway will be difficult to hit against the dock as the Castle of Mint downstairs. Inside of security, looks upwards.
Houghton could have some hero plays. He's in a decent position to do so. It doesn't seem like Dream Team have fully droned him out. So if Houghton does something amazing here, then we could see DarkZero make this go another round. They still have no potential to get 3 points, though, so no matter what, if you're DarkZero, this is essentially a loss. I mean, the community vote on this one, by the way, I'll remind you guys, turned out 68% in favor of DarkZero, 25% in favor of Dream Team.
They're definitely making a name for themselves. I think that's indisputable. And
yeah,
they've got 3 more targets to be able to put this one away. And what would, if my memory serves me correctly, will be the most dominant performance that North American Pro League has seen so far. Wrong line for Hot and Cold to take a fight there. Well, the Valkyrie of BC will outduel Rexon, no trade. Doodle is just waiting patiently to see if he can get Houghton. BC's been down, finished off by Pixel. There goes Houghton and Mint in a 1v4. A situation that Mint has found himself in a number of occasions, and he's been able to win these, especially on border. He'll have 1 drop, but Thomas will hit the floor, and with that, so too will drop the chances for DZ to be able to put another round on the board. 7-1, a drubbing, as 92 Dream Team make an absolute statement and will continue to do so. What a performance from them, and a team of young gunners, I think you could call them. North America's only, I guess you could say, team without an organization, and they are now first place in Pro League.
So, okay, 92 Dream Team. First of all, I'd like to go ahead and affirm what you were saying earlier. This is the fastest match in North America so far through this season. We've seen a lot of 7-3s, a lot of 7-4s, a lot of draws. That's the first 7-1. And again, if it were like against another team, I maybe wouldn't be talking about it so much. But DarkZero, it's like it's pretty substantial. It's really substantial. It's impressively done from 92 Dream Team. I love that they play on their toes. You really got to hand it to them how dynamic they are. It's just because, again, in the very beginning of their defensive half, they were playing passively. They were just waiting, and then they decided to start getting aggressive, and then they kind of did a back and forth, a little bit of a, oh, you can't catch me, you know, and DarkZero couldn't catch them.
No. The tilt factor, I think, was something that needs to be looked at here for DarkZero, because they started losing pretty badly, and it's hard to get your head back in the game when you go down 4 rounds in a row. Some of them were not that close. Some of them were just 92 Dream Team just completely taking over.
Full control.
Full and total control. And 92 Dream Team won a lot of those rounds real big.
Yeah.
2 of them, I believe, came down to time where 92 Dream Team just kind of perched on the diffuser, but that was really it.
I mean, there's this kind of intangible feeling that you start to get when, especially like that last round. I don't know if you were feeling this as well, but that last round, I was thinking to myself, yeah, there's no way DarkZero is bringing this back.
Yep.
It just the way that 92 were playing it, they start getting like they get a pick early, and then problem, and then another pick, and you're just like, how could they throw this away?
When it was 5-1 on Border, as we said, Border's not a 5-1 map most of the time. Unless you're very heavily favored here, Border is not a 5-1 map. And I mean, I would like to actually pick the brains of DarkZero because they banned Buck and they banned Mira. They obviously did that not just for comfort, but because they also thought it must have affected 92 Dream Team. And if you look at the scoreline, it didn't at all. Not one bit.
No, not even a little. So, a curious match to be sure. And I think it's still too early to say that 92 Dream Team is going to become one of the staple teams in North America, that they're going to be one of the consistent performers, but we're working that direction. I think that they're building up a pretty substantial fan base with beating the teams that they're beating right now, and I think given enough time that they could be some serious player in North America. If they prove their consistency, that's the real test. They need to prove their consistency because 2 wins a super team does not make.
No. And we saw, what was it, when they were known as Noble. They came in, and they and both Space Station were sitting atop North America after 2 weeks, and what happened? Noble didn't win, I don't believe, another match until their very final match of the season. So you have to keep in mind that teams can start off hot, and the story behind 92 Dream Team is pretty compelling. Not just the story about the actual.
You want to cheer for them.
Not just the actual 92 Dream Team, but also the team.
This one.
In this one as well.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to the team, though. Let's bring them up and give an interview with 92 Dream Team and ask them exactly what went on there and ask a couple questions that I'm sure you probably at home want to know as well. We should have an interview ready with them. There we go. Doodle, you got interviewed twice yesterday in USN, and now you get to get interviewed again, this time with Pro League. So you've been running the gamut here. Congratulations, first and foremost, on your victory. My very first question for you, when the map bans came out, when they banned Buck and you banned Capital, was this a targeted ban against them? Were you expecting them to take Buck away? And how did it influence your play style on Border?
So we knew they loved Cap on Border, so it was easy. And Cap is a broken operator right now, so we wiped it off the board so we can play into a more aggressive play style on half wall. And the Buck ban, someone has done that to us before in one of our CL playoff matches, I think. So it was nothing new. We knew exactly. And with a Buck ban, that means they're not going to play like vertical pressure as much. Like when we go Armory, they're not going to play anything like they're not going to buck above. So I had free roam downstairs. And that just opened up a lot of opportunities for us. But, I mean, the bans and they banned Mira for us, which all of our games we banned Mira, so I don't know why they would. Maybe they thought we had something with it. I mean, we do, but, that's it.
Now, I made a fool of myself by saying that I didn't know who your coach was, and it's Virus. So, number one, I would like to officially issue an apology. But I also want to ask you, how much work has he done on this team, and his previous experience with Cloud9, how integral has it been for you to be able to match your peers here in North American Pro League?
So Virus, already coaching a Pro League team, he already knew what we need to, essentially what we're going to need to do. We have basically 4 rookies on the team with the exception of Thomas, or 5 rookies with the exception, well, Thomas played a few games, so I don't know if you count that. So he helps us a lot with prep work. We didn't really know how our practice schedule should be as a Pro League team. And, a lot of us have jobs and we can't be on as much as some of these other teams. So he helps us stay on the grind as much as possible. And he does a lot of prep work for us, which I appreciate because we make $0 an hour right now. And he just does it out of the love for the game and the passion he has for the team. So much love to him.
Now, moving from Challenger League to Pro League is likely a pretty big step forward for you. And I mean, it was a huge accomplishment for your team to be able to get to this point so far. It's been the biggest, I guess, part of the learning process for you since moving from Challenger League to competing against some of the best teams in all of the world.
I'd say the learning, it's more just learning how we can improve as a team because, it's when we have 5 players and we made it all the way through CL, some people would think you're like capped off or whatever, but there's still a ton of ways you can improve every day. And, we improve every day in scrims. We try to, and it's just, that's the hardest thing for us is, always improving. And we're doing a good job at it because in CL, we were not good at best of ones, and I guess we're getting better at best of ones with the past 2 we played. I mean, it's too hard to tell right now, too early in the season. But I'd say improving every day is a tough challenge for us coming from CL.
Perfect. And the last question for you. You added him to the roster. He also was unproven from a Pro League perspective, and Pixel's impact so far has seemed to be quite good. What do you think is the biggest attribute that he brings to your team in particular?
So I think Pixel is one of the best aimers in Pro League right now. I was on a team with him when he qualified for USN, and I took his spot because he could not make the event. But I think he brings a lot to the table with gun skill in general, and it clears up our comms a little bit because he's more of a quiet player, and we have 3 very loud players on the team. So, and we had 4 with Yardy on the team, and it clears up comms, and I'm very confident in Pixel and his like gunfight abilities basically. So I'd say his best attribute is just a gun.
Well, you had a banger of a night last night. You're 1 win away from making it to the U.S. Nationals LAN, if I remember correctly. And now you also happen to sit atop the standings in North American Pro League. So not a bad 24 hours for you. Anything to say to the fans, the viewers, etc. before we end the interview?
I just want to say I appreciate everybody supporting 92 Dream Team and our look for an org. You know, seeing everybody adding all the orgs on Twitter has really helped get our name out there, especially us playing good. And, you know, it just feels good to have a fan base behind us and people who actually want to see us win and do good. So I appreciate all the fans out there and everybody who's stuck with us.
What a story it's been for you, and I'm sure we'll see you again more this season. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.